What's up guys? So we're en route to the gym and today's going to be a very different session. We're training full body pretty much, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm flying tomorrow to see Matteo. He's competing in, well, not Amsterdam, I'm flying to Amsterdam, but he's competing in the Netherlands. So his show's on Saturday, I'm flying out on Friday. So essentially the way I look at it is I'd much rather train in my usual gym setup and try and get everything done and then just take 3 days off. So essentially this is going to be a pretty long session today. I'm going to basically just try and do a lot of the push and the pull stuff in one day. I feel recovered enough for it, so I'm doing it. It's a very much kind of like an auto-regulating thing where in the moment today I feel good enough, I'm going to do it. I wouldn't just plan that, like I wouldn't usually do this frequency because I usually wouldn't be recovered actually, but sleep's been pretty good last few days. But yeah, it serves as a very good opportunity to talk about how I set up a full body session and how to approach it. And we also have got only 3 hours because I've got a new car and it arrives in 3 hours, so I have to get back. I've got 3 hours to train full body. So we'll show you kind of the approach, how I manage volume, what things I'm prioritizing and why. But at the same time, I'm going to crack on with the session. It'll be a really good session for you guys to watch because I'm doing a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of filming to be done for Aaron. but yeah, I'll talk as I go along as much as I can. I'll just basically just be a really good insight, because something I've never spoke about is like, how do you program a full body and why would you? And essentially it is for the purpose of what I'm doing today. It's like, if you have a limited amount of days in a week to train, frequency matters more than anything else. So making sure I can train both back and chest and delts and everything before the week finishes. So I'm training it all in one session basically. Because there are a lot of people who are in that situation. They can only train maybe 3 times a week. 3 full body sessions, you train everything 3 times that week. So, but yeah, we'll crack on. It's going to be a good session. I feel pretty fresh, like I said. Fortunately, because usually I would hinge tomorrow. I'm going to do deadlifts today, first in. Usually I wouldn't do that. So we'll see how it goes. I have to be cautious. Yeah, I'm not going to bury myself. I'll be smart. But luckily I do feel pretty recovered, so I think it'll be okay. But yeah, let's get on with it. Let's do it. A long session. So I decided in this session, because it's such a unique session, I'm not going to look at my logbook at all really. The variables are so different for me, there's no point even doing comparisons. For example, I'm going to go from a hinge into back work, then into presses. So those presses are going to be so different compared to when I do them at the start when I'm completely fresh. Whilst also the hinge, I'm doing it a day earlier than usual and I'm a bit sorer than usual in certain areas. So today's about me just getting good work done. Maybe doing like drop sets and some things instead of like usual working sets. And that's the thing I would recommend to people with full body sessions. If you are limited for time, sometimes just doing a top set into a drop set is a very quick way of still creating a decent amount of stimulus versus like resting for ages and then just doing another working set. Yes, there will be less stimulus created, but it won't be as significant a drop off as just doing one set, and you're still getting in and out of it pretty productively. So that's the approach today. It's just like get in, get good work done. To say that to certain people would mean that their intensity would drop down. For myself, I always train to failure, and I know what that means. So I can happily just not track, not have a logbook to chase a number, and still give everything to my sets. Whereas some people, they need that number, they need that logbook to kind of be accountable to drive intensity. So I think it does depend on the person, but if you feel like you train to complete failure no matter what, then sometimes just forgetting the logbook is fine. You're just still going to give it that right amount of effort you're meant to be giving. So. So you see I'm starting on a hinge today, and the reason being is because essentially it's just what I need more of. So when you program a full body session, typically you will see people probably start on like the stuff that's going to be essentially the the least taxed. So if you do, the least taxing, I mean. So say you do push first, like your chest, training your chest, what does that take away from next? It doesn't take away from much. For most people, I'd recommend starting on upper and starting on push. But then it depends on what you need. And the further you get into this bodybuilding journey, the more you're going to have specific things that you need more than others. For me, this is my strong point, okay? My back isn't. So I'm starting on my back. I'm starting on my hamstrings, then I'll go on to back work, and then I'll go on to presses. And arguably, having my lats fried might take away from my presses a little bit in terms of the eccentric. But that trade-off is fine for me. That's very specific to me. So when you program your full body session, think about your individual needs. And that's why you can't just ask on Instagram someone like, how do you set up a full body session? It's like, well, it really depends on the person. Yes, there is generic kind of systems you want in place for people that are a bit more new to it or just a bit more blank slate. But if you're like 3, 4, 5 years into your bodybuilding journey, then you're going to start to have things you need more of. And then when you get 10 plus years, you're definitely going to have things. So yeah, hinge first for me, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm pretty sore, I'm not going to lie. My hamstrings are pretty sore. But just ignore that, just get on with it. I'm going to do 200. I did 220 for 5 last time. If I can get a nice 8 rep 200 set, I'll be happy, because like I said, I'm not bothered about the logbook today. I understand that this will not be my best performance. Unlikely. You never know, but it's unlikely. Oh! Fuck off! That was fucking hard. That's why I got so angry at the end. Hard in a good way, like, I was happy with it. But it was just, from like rep 4, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is hard. You just got to keep going. Yeah, just don't think about much, just keep going in your head. So, I think I did 210 for 7. So it's about not peak performance, it's about holding performance pretty much, just by shifting it a day forward. Sometimes the variables are not going to be in your favor, and that's where you just got to lock in and get after it, because at the end of the day, you can't just have everything fucking given to you. You know, you can get perfect recovery, perfect sleep, but you still have to work hard. You still have to give effort on the days where it is in your favor. You need to learn that in your head. So then when it doesn't go in your favor, you still do the fucking work. Don't let it change. I see too many people not standardizing their work. Give 100% all the time. People that go, oh, I'm gonna work even harder this week. Shut up. Like, just do the work every week. Don't just say, I'm gonna work really hard for this week. What does that mean? It suggests you didn't work hard enough the other weeks. When I'm getting annoyed at people that say that stuff and they're actually like, they have goals of competing. It's like, just 100%, or at least just 90% even, all the fucking time, for 10 years plus. I promise you, if you do that in the gym all the time, you will go far. Stop changing your effort. Right, so one tip I'll give you if you're in a rush, which I am right now, is if you're doing a movement that you're used to and you're already warm, I mean, it's pretty warm in this gym anyway, but I've also done hinges, just go straight in. You don't have to do these feeder sets all the time. Just set up and go. That's something I'd recommend to people that have experience with their training plan. If they're new to lots of different movements, I still give yourself some time, I still do the movements a bit, just so you get used to the pattern of it. But for myself, straight in. I've even got this new setup, like this is a really good mid-back row. The reason I've done this setup is because I was getting tendonitis on my arm, and it's because the Cybex row is really good, but there's no freedom to rest. This is D handles, and it allows me just to move a little bit, which helps a lot with the wrist, and therefore my bicep. And since I've swapped it, instantly the pain's gone. Funny that. So yeah, I'm gonna run with this. It's a bit of a hassle setting up a little bit, but it's a very good movement. So yeah, just 2 sets. Well, I'm doing a set and then into a drop set again. So you saw me do that on the terrace. It's just a way of me getting in and out and still getting some work done right now. Good. Let's go. And again. Come on! Come on! Drive! Come on. Drive. Yes. Oh, come on. Yep, you. Maybe not you. Piece of advice I'll give when you're doing full body, and if you're doing it at like quite a fast pace, is I would suggest actually alternating between back and chest. The reason being is it gives each muscle group a little bit more time to recover. So I did my shoulder press then, high incline press, and now I'm going to do a neutral row for lats, and then I'm going to go into my chest bias press. If I went from that straight into that pretty quick, I would be completely fatigued. It's not going to be productive. So I'm just doing this to give myself a little bit of time just to bridge the gap a bit more and to allow myself to kind of go into that press a bit fresher. Again, top set into a drop set again, just in and out. If you haven't done a neutral grip row before, I really suggest you do it like a narrow grip row. It's a very old school movement. You would have seen Ronnie Coleman, all that, people like that do it back in the day. And then I think it got a bit of a backlash from, you know, science and people talking about alignment. And now it's like coming back, swings and roundabouts with the understanding that actually the alignment of this machine gives you a huge stretch through the lats. It's very narrow, it gives you a big stretch. And it just shows you guys like experience is a lot more trustworthy than science, because science always contradicts itself a lot of the time. So this NutriGrip Pro, I love it. It feels amazing in my lats. That's all I need to know to decide to run it. Trial something, how does it feel? If it feels good, you know it works. Just saying, when you do a drop set, you don't have to immediately drop into it. Just give yourself like 20 seconds. It'll help a lot. Still quicker than just doing 2 straight sets. But I'm not absolutely ruined going into the second set. Oh. Yes. Oh, fuck. No! Oh! Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh, God. Oh! Oh. Oh. So it's all about like part of being a coach and an athlete at the same time is when you gotta understand this, when you have clients in peak week, there might be times where you are on your phone in your session. Now, I'm not like trying to ruin my session or anything, but when clients send through their post-workout updates, I want to let them know straight away, because when you're that deep into prep and you're in peak week, your head's gone. Like your perception of your physique is absolutely gone. Just that simple reassurance to your client instantly saying that they look good. Obviously, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If something was wrong, I'll say the right thing, obviously. But at the same time, giving that feedback quick is important. Now, Matteo, we're flying out to Amsterdam tomorrow. He's competing in WF Netherlands. He's doing men's physique, and he looks absolutely on the money. Like, very, very good. What I do, I send him this GIF. So now he knows he's on. But in like all honesty, he looks absolutely phenomenal. I think he's the perfect condition for men's physique. Like, he's peeled, but he's retained fullness. We've landed that fullness pretty much there now. We're 2 days out. I really don't like doing fat lows and like rapid back lows. I'd much rather just get fullness secured nice and early. I don't really believe in super compensation. I've done that in the past. I've done many peaks myself where it's been like loading across 3 days before the show. And I've seen zero difference, zero, in terms of the look and fullness when I've loaded earlier with my clients and myself. So with him, he needs a lot of food as well, big guy. We've done like high days of 700 plus carbs per day. And why would I want to like just reduce the time that he has to put all this food in to create more GI stress, create more stress on himself, cramming loads of food in, when I could get him ready earlier and load up across like 5, 6, 7 days, you know? So yeah, he's on now. He's there. Just a little bit to go upwards into tomorrow morning, and then we'll tape it back off, dry off a little bit. Right, I'm doing a superset. So short head work, long head work. It's quite a clever way that if you want to get in and out of your arm training quick, you can do this. Right, so we're at the end of the session now. It is full body because I'm hitting legs, but it's just hamstrings. Still counts, right? But I'm just doing a rest pause set on hamstrings now. This is kind of like top up work. That's how I see it. It's not the bulk of the work. It's at the end, like extra stuff. But I've been recovering from it fine so far, doing hamstrings twice a week. So I'm just continuing it. Yeah, 3-round rest pause. So it's very quick. It'll take a few minutes. So 30 seconds between each set. I'll do the same weight. I'll do like maybe 14 or 15 reps, and then it'll go down to like 7 or 6 reps, and then like maybe 3 or 4 reps. But it's done wonders for my hamstrings, this frequency. The key thing is frequency, guys. Like if you have a weakness, just train it more frequently. Give it more opportunities to grow. Give yourself more opportunities also to get strong at it, you know, like more practice, get more strong. Yeah, so we'll get this done, and then we might do some posing if I have some time. It's actually been quite a swift session, which I'm surprised. The amount of volume I've done today is pretty mad, but it just shows you don't faff around like I do a lot of the time. You can get a lot done. That was the most rushed session I've ever done, but still very productive session. Even had some time to pose at the end there, which was good, because the car arrives in 30 minutes. But yeah, I basically just ticked the boxes of what I needed to tick before going into 3 days off now. Unfortunately, my flight is at midday, and I figured, like, going to the Netherlands, I'll get there, I'll see Matteo, and it's like, he's going to train, he's going to do a pump session. But a pump session, it doesn't really matter what kit you use. But, like, you know, anyone that does deadlifts regularly will know what it's like hinging in a different place after travel on a different bar. It just wouldn't go well, and it would just get in my head, and it's not worth it. And then it's also not worth, like, all the different machines and the faff of that. So it's nice now I can just focus on Matteo and his peak and him stepping on stage. He can do a pump, I can just go and watch him or help him with the pump and just chill out. It's quite nice, to be honest. So yeah, it's going to be a good trip. But yeah, that full body session was good. Like, I felt it was actually pretty productive. Performance was up on, or retained on everything, even on the stuff that was pushed forward a day. And it just shows the importance of recovery, because I had very good sleep the last few days, fortunately. Sometimes it's quite hard for me to get good sleep because obviously I've got a son who's nearly 3 years old, and sometimes he wakes me up, but the last few nights has been pretty good. And therefore, I felt pretty fresh going into hinges for the fact that it was day early. I didn't feel, quote unquote, like, as fresh as I could, but yeah, considering that was a push the day forward, yeah, I felt really good. And yeah, we're moving along really nicely. Like, I'm nearly 8 kilos down, so that's 8 kilos in 7 weeks. We've still got 8 weeks left of this diet to get down to 81 kilos. So it's probably going to be one of the easiest diets I've ever, well, it will be the easiest diet I've ever done, 100%. So far, it's been so simple. My appetite is barely high. Maybe that's because of the harsh environments I've been exposed to in the past with preps when I was a lot younger. So yeah, very, very easy diet so far. And yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll wrap this up in 7 weeks in a really good, easy position to reverse from. But yeah, so now 3 days off. I'm going to be just chilling out, focusing on Matteo now. But yeah, it just shows, like, if you are in a rush position, or you have to change your frequency round, just be smart with how you distribute your volume. Focus on the things you need to focus on. Do that at the front, like I did today with back. And then, if you need to get in and out of the session, you can do drop sets. Yes, there will be a slight drop off to the stimulus, but it won't be too much. Essentially, this session for me is a little bit of a de-volume session compared to the usual, but what it is going to do is now just give me more in the next session next week. And the main point I'm trying to make of this video is sometimes your routine might change a little bit. You might be challenged with recovery, you might be sore when you're training, things might not be in your favour to perform well, but ultimately at the end of the day, you have to crack on in certain situations and make the most of the situation you're in. And that was today, that's what I did. And I can come out of that very happy because I know I've moved forward and did what I could have. 200 times 9 stiff leg deadlift when I did 220 for 5 last week in a day later than usual last week. That's a huge win, even when I'm considering the fact I'm a kilo down in body weight, So a lot of it is mindset and just being in a positive frame of mind when you go into these sessions and believe in what you can achieve. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video as always. Slightly different video today because I never usually train like that. And I'm quite looking forward to not having to train like that again, but it was a good insight for sure. So yeah, if you're new to the YouTube, drop a subscribe, lots more content coming out as usual. And then yeah, like and subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.